Добре во Нова, во Студио за Рикардо Гутиерез, генерален секретар на Европската федерација на новинари. Welcome to Nova.
Thank you.
Mr. Riccardo, it's your second visit
Yes.
to Macedonia during those, how many years? 3 years.
3 years, the last 3 years, yeah.
3 years. And when you came before 3 years, you visited Tomislav Kežarovski, our colleague, journalist Kežarovski, who was at that time under house arrest,
yeah.
and you were defending him, and now you are outraged because we have another journalist in prison. His name is Zoran Božinovski, but you asked the court to visit him at the prison, but you were refused. What was their explanation?
Well, we requested the criminal court of Skopje to be allowed to visit him because it's important for us to check out his, conditions in prison. And they simply didn't reply. So we don't know why they didn't accept our request, which is a nasty way to ignore us. We are a professional organization. I think it's important for us to dialogue with our members. And as a journalist, he's a member. We consider him as a member of our federation.
And you want to see, what was your explanation? Why do you want to visit him?
Because it's normal for us to give assistance to our members. We are the representative of journalists, and it's normal for us to visit journalists. We act by this way in every single country where journalists are in prison.
And we have 5 journalists in prison in Europe now.
Yes, more than 5. More than
5, okay, but in Macedonia.
In 5 countries. We have that kind of situation in 5 countries. The main problem is Turkey, of course.
Yeah.
We have 110 journalists in prison in Turkey. We have journalists in prison in Russia, in Azerbaijan, in Montenegro, and in Macedonia. So it's normal for us to ask judicial authorities to visit our members.
Of course. And he started a hunger strike, and of course it's an act of protest, political protest.
It is.
To provoke some kind of provoke the reaction, the authorities and the Macedonian public, of course, and the international public, of course. But you're against the hunger strike because you're very worried for his health.
Of course, that's not the kind of action we support because for us it's very important to protect the health and safety of our members, and it's rather difficult for us to accept such. I understand his reaction because he's isolated, he wants to protest, so he needs to show he disagrees with the procedures he's involved in. On the other hand, for us it's rather difficult to accept such an action, and the fact is I don't understand why the court didn't allow us to, because it would have been possible for us to discuss with him about the way to find another way to protest, not putting his life in danger, because that's the problem with the hunger strike. When you don't drink, when you don't eat, you put your life in danger.
But he said, he said you're very aware of that. He said that he would like to die in the prison, and if he's not released.
That shows, the tension in what we are, and again, I cannot understand the way the judicial authorities completely ignored our demand.
Right. It's the first time in Europe to put a journalist in detention for the espionage and extortion.
We don't have any other cases.
Such a case.
When I look at the current situation in the other countries, we don't have that kind of case. And with that kind of charges, it's very difficult to prove or to, it's the role of a journalist to be in contact with many stakeholders, including secret services, and so it's easy for a government, for judiciary authorities to charge a journalist with espionage.
It's very easy.
It's very easy
yes,
because you can easily
manipulate if you want
documents, files, internet connections, and
his intentions to be yes.
The fact is, we are very concerned by the procedure in this case. You know, he was in prison for 18 months in Serbia under very unclear charges. The extradition to Macedonia was organized without, it seems, any judicial decision. It's like non-official, you know. It's like Serbia government dealing with Macedonian government, and you know, it's like facing a situation where a guy is kidnapped by the Serbian authorities, and the Serbian authorities are just giving the kidnapped guy to the Macedonian authorities. And now 5 months in prison in Macedonia, and the prosecutor needed 4 months to publish the official indictment, which is a bit strange. If you have clear charges against a person, you don't need 4 months to write an indictment. So the full procedure is a bit strange for us. That's why we decided to alert the Council of Europe. As you may know, the European Federation of Journalists has the ability, the possibility to
strong ties with the Council of Europe and some kind of influence, of course.
Yeah, we have the ability to publish official alerts. These alerts will be sent to all the member states, the ambassadors of the 47 member states of the Council of Europe, and the General Secretary of the Council of Europe will ask now explanations to the Macedonian government about this situation.
Yeah. So about the case of impunity over journalists in Macedonia, how do you think that there is some chillover?
I'm rather shocked by the way Macedonian authorities are prosecuting journalists on charges not very serious, not very material charges. I mean, I think I see this as a strategy to put pressure on the whole journalist community.
Right.
You know, it's a way to spread self-censorship, showing, look, what we can do with journalists when they are working on such kind of stories.
But it's isolation, of course, not only for the journalists, but for the whole country,
society.
For the whole society,
it's
for the people.
Yes, it's a way to intimidate, a way to show from those in power that they can be harmful for people. Of course.
Country.
And I'm rather shocked by the way they are prosecuting journalists easily. Tomislav Kezarovski some years ago, and now Zoran Božinovski. And at the same time, we know that in this country we have a lot of governmental officials involved in crimes against the rule of law, against the constitution, and they are simply not prosecuted. So that's
which means double standards.
Of course, it's double standards. Fully.
Yeah. So what are the practices of the European Union and Council of Europe about the safety of journalists in this context?
I'm rather surprised by the attitude of the Macedonian authorities, because some months ago they signed a recommendation from the Council of Europe in order to protect journalism and to protect the safety of journalists. And when you read that statement, that recommendation, which is a governmental recommendation, signed by the Macedonian government, they are simply not respecting what they signed. I prefer the attitude of Russia. The Federation of Russia refused to sign the recommendation because they disagree with some of the commitments of the recommendation. But the Macedonian government signed this recommendation. So now I'm asking the Macedonian government, how many cases have you opened regarding violences against journalists? How many prosecutions? How many condemnations? Is there any people in Macedonia condemned because they attacked a journalist? I don't think so. So here, it's a clear view on the double standards we are facing in this country.
Yeah. Yesterday we had some case regarding Nova. We've tried to broadcast, to stream live the parliamentarian session where the special prosecutor, Katica Janeva, she was there, and we were refused. There was some kind of explanation that they are having a stream, which is not true, because they have a stream live on the parliamentarian sessions, but not of the commissions or the committees. So,
well, the principle we defend is free access to sources, and free access to parliamentarian debates. On the other hand, they can organize, if they want, closed debates. If there is a risk for the people, giving and participating to a hearing, to protect the person or to protect some other persons.
But it's not a hearing,
it's not the case.
It's not a
if
case.
It's not the case,
hearing,
the principle
it was a report.
Okay, if it's a simple report, I think the journalists have the right
for their work, the report for the work of the regarding the work of the special prosecutor.
So the closed hearings are the exception. The normal rule is free access to information, free access to parliamentarian debates.
But in America, you have not closed hearings. We
of course.
Very well aware that they are open. Those hearings are open to the whole country.
And that's the case in most of the countries, of course.
Right.
Except maybe North Korea, Russia. It's a real problem in Russia. Journalists are not allowed to follow parliamentarian debates. Even the plenary debates, they cannot. So I think we are here facing a very strange decision from the parliament.
It's similar to North Korea.
In my view, it is
Yeah.
similar to North Korea and Russia, because it's the same kind of attitude, closing debates, not allowing citizens to be aware what's going on in the parliament.
Yes. Thank you very much for this.
Thank you.
Riccardo.